All right, what's going on, guys? It's Nano back again with another video. Thanks for stopping by. This is the Galaxy Z Fold 3 5G, third iteration of Samsung's most expensive device in terms of smartphone category. Okay, this retails for $1,799 US, and this is a very, very premium device. There is no other way to put it. You will definitely feel that just holding that phone or this phone in your hand. On today's video, what we're going to talk about is this phone worth the almost $2,000 US price point that Samsung charges? This is not going to be a final review. This is not a review that at all per se. This is just me kind of rambling about my thoughts on using this phone for a little over 2 weeks because I myself have a decision to make. The filming of this video, it is September 11th, okay? So that means that I have a little over a week left since I purchased this phone to decide whether or not I'm keeping it or returning it back to Samsung. And it's going to be one of the toughest decisions I've ever had in terms of what I'm going to do with the device because it is a very expensive phone. It's a very expensive toy. It's a very expensive tool. It's a very expensive everything. But it brings a lot to the table that other devices that are cheaper do not bring, and that others that are slightly more expensive in terms of a laptop or maybe a tablet of higher configuration specs. This kind of fits both or nicely in between both. All right, so let's kind of talk about so far what it's been like using this device, and we'll go from there. And if I ramble, guys, I'm sorry, but I like telling you things that are right on the top of my head. I don't like to script my videos. These are very real, very authentic. There may be things that I ramble on more about, and there may be things that I skip. If there's anything in particular that you wish I covered or that stands out to you, let me know in the comment section below. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me not unlock my Robinhood account in front of all you all. So, Z Fold 3. We already know that it folds. We already know that this is what makes this phone so special and so important in the world of smartphones right now. The fact that you could take a phone that is almost front screen wise the size of an iPhone 12 Pro Max, obviously not as wide. It's hard to tell because I have an OtterBox case on, but it is probably just as tall. And you have the ability to use it like this, but then when you want to go ahead and start engaging, and by the way, I'm not a Braves fan, I'm actually a Mets fan, but I was trying to see if the Mets had a chance at making the playoffs. You can go ahead and obviously open up, and then you're doing this. This is where all the magic happens. It's that one interaction of this to this where you start to understand and you start to realize why this device, why this piece of tech, why this smartphone is worth what it's worth. It's charging us what they charge us for it. When you're able to do that, you then start to understand the magic that it is using a device like such. So then the internet or the device is your oyster, right? You can start getting creative. You can open up this quick side off here, and then you can start deciding, you know, what do you want to have side by side? Do you want like another Chrome page? Do you want to go maybe YouTube to Samsung browser over here? There's YouTube. There's some Samsung browser. Maybe you want to go ahead and have this dock be permanently pinned to the side, more so like an iPad Pro or a tablet. And let me actually zoom in a little bit more for you guys. You know, maybe you want to have it like that, right? And then maybe you want to be able to open up a text down here. Maybe you want to go ahead and have a fourth one floating around. Like, you can get creative as to how you want to use this device with this form factor, with this screen size, okay? Personally, I've kept my dock either pinned or unpinned 50% of the time. I'm not quite sure how I'd like to use it because I do like the fact that I can scroll over from the right and access it. I love being able to tap right there and then access more of my apps. Now, one cool thing is when you do have it docked or pinned, if you will, this bottom portion right here is an automatic app drawer, and I love that. So that's one huge pro to having this docked off to the side, is because when you want to access your apps, you can do that. Of course, you can always just swipe up, but hey, who wants to swipe up if you can just access it like that? You can unpin it, right? So then you've got your home screen, you've got the apps, you got to always check your crypto, see how we're doing. And then you configure it like you want, right? You can scroll over to the left. You got your Google Home, which I love that Samsung defaulted to being like the default thing. Tesla's $25,000 car gets update on its final name. Yeah, whatever. So you have this large canvas. You have this ability to start using this phone, right? I'm using air quotes, as a tablet, as a mini laptop. Now, one thing that I did earlier today is I was watching baseball and I was casting from the phone to my Samsung TV. Now, you've been able to do that before. Now, that's not new. You've been able to use iPhones to your Apple TV box. But it was the seamless interaction that Samsung has in place. A lot of people spend a lot of time talking about the ecosystem, Apple's ecosystem. What makes their ecosystem so special? What makes it exciting? Why people have a hard time leaving that ecosystem once they're hooked? Well, that's a discussion for another time. I've made a video about that before in the past. But Samsung has their own ecosystem of their own, and it's very, very mature at this point, to the point where if you are investing in Samsung devices, even smart TVs and home appliances and things of that nature that Apple does not delve into, you have yourself a heck of a wonderful time experiencing all those devices. And all of that is facilitated when you have a device like this. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 with its large screen allows you to have a great time interacting with all of your other smart devices. And again, it's this engagement from screen here, right, to here that makes it all worth that price tag. And I'm going to touch back on that price tag here in a moment, but just that motion at least allows you to understand why it costs what it costs. Now, off to the side here, I have what's called the flip cover with pen. I actually have not opened this. I'll actually put this closer to the camera so you guys can see. Unopened. I got this as part of my bundle, and I'm not going to open it, at least not now, because I have had a chance to play with the pen, and that is the Fold Edition pen, or like the Note Edition pen, the thinner, the cheaper one that comes with that cover. A coworker of mine has one as well, so I've used theirs. And the reason why I'm not using mine is because I hate the case. I don't like that the case has no way to stay shut, but also, and there's going to be tons of videos that show this, so you've probably already seen it in other videos, and if you haven't, feel free to go check those out. You can't use Samsung's stylus on the front cover. And I think that that's a missed opportunity from Samsung, and I think that's something that Samsung is definitely going to incorporate going forward in future editions. And what kind of bums me out about that are two things. One, you have no place to put your stylus, right? And we knew that when Samsung announced it. We all knew that. You don't have a place to put it. It is what it is. So that forces you to think of the pen and think of the stylus as a secondary tool. It's not a primary tool. It doesn't feel intuitive. It doesn't feel like it should be a part of this phone. And I'll explain that again here in a little bit. But that's my initial impressions on using that pen and why I haven't even unboxed and used my pen, even though I have it right there sitting beside me. When you refer to a phone like the Galaxy Note series that has its perfect little spot down here for the stylus, you start to use and understand that that phone makes sense with that stylus. You are gravitating towards it, and that engagement with pen to screen, whether it's scrolling through the page and using it as a mouse, whether it's quick notes, whether it's just tapping here and tapping there, doodling here, doodling there, because then you could quickly put it away. And Samsung did something similar with the S21 Ultra. They allowed their pen, their stylus, to be usable with the phone. And they made it as an accessory that you needed a case and the pen or the stylus to use them together. And I think that that's just an easy way for Samsung to make money. Fine, whatever. But in terms of like bringing value, when you have that disconnect, it takes away from the experience. It takes away from the user experience and what makes using the phone fun with that accessory. When this phone came out, I think a lot of Samsung fans, and probably either just tech fans in general, got excited because they thought, okay, this is going to make a lot of sense with a stylus, right? You have a big screen. Of course, the Note series is going to get fade away. It's going to be forced into retirement. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But so far, after the third iteration, no. The Note series still has a place out there, and that pen still has a place in the phone. And Samsung has to, figure out a way to find a spot either on this real thin chassis or a better magnetic stylus or a case that just grabs it better. I'm sure there's going to be third-party cases out there. But we need to resolve that issue in order to make that feel natural to be used with this wonderful large display. The other thing that kind of bums me out about it not being, connected or a place to be housed inside of this phone is because of the front-facing screen. So this smaller, more narrow screen does not allow, it's not digitized, does not allow you to use a stylus with it. And what frustrates me about that is that this phone is just as capable shut like it is now as it is when it's open. Matter of fact, a lot of times in my little over 2 weeks of using this phone, I found myself forgetting that I could open it in order to engage with it, okay? So I found myself, checking Messenger, watching YouTube videos on Google Chrome, on a phone call, on a text message, opening up my camera app. Literally everything that you see here in front screen, right? And the things that I could scroll, I literally used this is as my phone. This was my phone, and then when I remembered, this was my tablet, okay? So I had that two-step experience. And then when it came to that pen, and I was using my coworker's pen, and he actually let me borrow it for about a week, not only did I not have a place to put it, I didn't have a case that housed it well enough, but when I wanted to use it, I wanted to use it like I used it on the Note series. And what I mean by that is being able to quickly pull it out and just start writing on the home screen. This is a big device. If you don't have a nice case for it, or if your hands are not really sticky and tacky, you're not going to be flinging this device open left and right. You're not going to pull off a floss Carter in which you just, rough and tumble with this thing because, yeah, you spent a lot of money on it and you want it to last a long time. And it is a very, very slippery device. So when I had that stylus, I found myself having to think about when I'm going to use that stylus, how I'm going to use that stylus. And by the time I opened the phone up and actually, wrote something down, I felt like I was forcing myself to use it. It didn't feel exciting. It didn't feel intuitive. And the moments that it did feel like it should have been intuitive would have been out here in the front-facing screen, and I couldn't do it because it's not digitized. Now, is that a feature that Samsung is going to come out with in the Z Fold 4? Maybe. It seems like they should. I can't imagine that Samsung people don't sit there and think about, what should we limit each device in terms of features so that we still have things and room for improvement on the next one. That to me was a huge, huge miss. You have a pen. You're introducing a pen for the first time to this foldable series, and now you can't even put it away. You don't have a spot to put it. You have a lousy case for it, and you can't even use the quick note function, the annotated, the boom, 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 and that's that. That is what would make this experience so much better because this is a thick device. It's thick, right? It's thick, but it's not super thick, right? It's like a chunky foam because each side, each panel here is pretty thin. But this is an expensive device. You're not going to want to just quickly fling it open, not making sure you have a good grip on it. And that's a missed opportunity in my eyes for that stylus. Especially when Samsung is charging you two different prices for two different styluses. Which one do you get? This and the other. Missed opportunity. Don't like that. Battery life. So I'll finish off with battery life because this is going to turn into a big ramble, and I definitely still need to do final review on this phone and things I like and dislike. And those videos will specifically follow the things I don't like. That'll be one video. Things I do like, that'll be another video. And then there should be a final review and some accessory reviews as well. So guys, if at any point in this video you enjoy it, please like it, please subscribe. But also let me know in the comment section below if there's anything that you want me to review or look into for you before I do those final reviews as well, or those likes and dislike videos. We'll talk about battery life. Battery life has been hit or miss. I don't know which category I'm going to put battery life into when it comes to this phone. But right now I'm going to say that I wish it was better. I'm not 100% disappointed on it, but I wish it was better. The first few days I was slightly more disappointed than I am now. I think that the phone started to learn my habits a bit. These are smart devices. They are catering to what we do. But I think that Samsung should have and could have made it last longer, either through software optimizations or maybe a little bit bigger. My issue with making it a little bit bigger is people already complain about this device when it's folded. But when it's unfolded, this is a thin device. I can't imagine Samsung can make this any thinner. All right, just take a look at that. It just feels premium because this thing is thin. It's thin in your hands, it's light in your hands. If you made or added a bigger battery, it's definitely gonna make this phone thicker, heavier. So that's why I don't know whether I should add the battery life as a like or as a dislike, or if I just say it's, it's right there in the middle and it's gonna come down to you, the user. And often it does. Every user uses their phones differently. Some are more powerhouser in terms of consuming content, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, videos, websites, browsing, TikTok, stuff like that. Others are going to be creating content. When I say content, it could be videos for YouTube, camera, photos for their family, videos of their family. Maybe you're working on spreadsheets, sync multiple cloud services together, whatever the case may be. How you use your device is how you use your device. And it's impossible to give everybody a general rule of thumb when it comes to battery life for any phone. What I can tell you is that I think that the average smartphone user or power hour person thinks that their phone should last them probably 5 hours or more of screen on time. And screen on time is how long has your phone had its screen open and you're engaging with it. Like everything I'm doing right now in this video and the screen is open, that's considered screen on time. But if all I have my screen is like this is really not going to do anything to my battery life. In fact, this is probably going to make my battery life look super inflated in terms of screen on time because I'm not doing anything, right? I'm not actively on Chrome. I'm not sitting here watching a YouTube video. I'm not on Reddit. I'm not multitasking. I'm not shooting photos and videos. You get the point. Battery life so far for me, a little over 2 weeks, has gone anywhere from 4 hours of screen on time to 6 hours of screen on time, anywhere from about 15 hours in a full charge to about 20 to 21 hours of full charge. Now, it does have super fast charging. It does have wireless charging. Those things we already know Samsung is all about. That's not new to the game. So topping off this phone was relatively easy, relatively fast, and painless. But if you want to charge your phone to 100%, go about your day and use it like a laptop, use it like a phone, use it like a tablet. I don't know that this device would necessarily do that for you without you having to top off at some point throughout the day. So there you have it. Some quick thoughts on using this phone in a little over 2 weeks in. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think regarding this phone. All right, I'm sure you guys have now watched tons of videos about this phone. All right, from multiple reviewers and multiple websites. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Have you had a Z Fold before, the first or second version? Is this the newest one, the one you're going to be getting? Or are you going to skip it and wait for another device? Now, again, the timing of this video, Apple has already announced that they're going to have their iPhone 13, I'm sure that's what they're going to call it, conference coming up next week. I'm definitely going to be getting that phone as well. I am huge on the Apple ecosystem, but I'm still a tech head, a geek through and through. So I'm very, very torn about where this device is going to fit in my lifestyle, what I'm going to do with it. And primarily it's because it's $1,800. I'm going to finish this video talking about that because that's what I led this video off with. It's 1,800 US dollars. It is cheaper than what it once was. But when you are spending 1,799 US dollars, you need to have, unless your money is not an issue, and if money is not an issue, please let me know in the comment section below with hashtag money is not an issue, and I'm jealous. But for your average consumer, money is going to be an issue. And even for people that money might not necessarily be an issue, it's a hard pill to swallow because you're using that money on a piece of technology. It's going to be in your pocket. You may break it, you may drop it, you may use it more, you may use it less. Today, we use our smartphones all the time. It is our primary computer. It is what we use our smartphones for, is computing, whether it's banking or texting or video calls or fun and games. It is everything. And right now, for 1,799 US dollars, it's hard to argue that there is a device out there that does all those things better than this. But what one can argue is, are there devices out there that do some of those things better than that? Not so much as can it do all of those things as well as is together. This phone is going to give you a lot of those experiences in a fun way, but I think that you're going to be at a point where you want to be able to do one thing over another, and you wish that this phone did that one thing, whatever that is for you, a little bit better, a little bit quicker, a little bit just flowing smoother and easier. And I don't know at this point if this phone is the best phone or best device out there for everyone at this particular time. Because of that price point, it's impossible to recommend wholeheartedly so far. Again, like the video, let me know in the comment section below what you think of this phone so far, and stay tuned for more videos on this phone. I've got some other reviews coming up as well on other smartphones. Again, I know that the Google Pixel is coming out as well. Stay tuned for all of that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like always, it was Nando. Peace, salute, adios, and like always, don't forget to stay geeky. I'll see you in the next one.